You know what they say? They say Los Angeles is where you go when you want to be somebody, New York is where you go when you are somebody, and Miami's where you go when you want to be somebody else. And so we always seem to be a sunny place for shady people. People think of Miami and they instantly think of this. They think of the 15 blocks of Ocean Drive that they see on TV all the time. But the truth of the matter is that Miami-Dade County is a giant place. I think the big story of our age has become income disparity. So what you have happening here is you have a third world economy in Miami. The space between the haves and the have-nots is wider here than almost any place in the United States, and is getting wider faster here than it is any place else. Then what happens here in the underprivileged communities is you have entrepreneurs, for lack of a better term, who come in and try to do something to lift up people who don't have any other opportunity. And that's what DADA is doing, and I think that's what a lot of street hustlers and entrepreneurs are doing all over the country. I was introduced to DADA 5000 by Frank Alvarado and Colby Katz, some journalists from the Miami New Times who are working on a cover story about DADA and the backyard. But the overall impression that I got is that by virtue of his behavior and his contributions demands respect. And I think for the most part gets that in return. He really comes off as like the unofficial mayor of West Perrine. It's an American dream story, and it's an American dream by any means necessary story. And here you have people who believe in their heart of hearts that this is the best opportunity that they have. Some of these young men who are willing to quite literally risk it all, risk their lives, risk their freedom, risk their liberty, risk their health, risk their bones and their brains. And there's something inherently tragic about that. The sense of that desperation and the tragedy of that never escaped me while we were there. And in fact, you know, at times got me a little concerned about the safety of my crew and the possibility that we might very well be here filming what amounts to manslaughter, depending on how each and every one of these fights ended. We spent almost 2 years just filming the movie and telling that story. And so I was really interested in kind of following their careers and their stories. At some point, my producer asked me the question that all producers ask, where the hell is this going? And my answer was always, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, these are real people living their lives, and how do you know when that's over? When we were pitching the doc, you know, we took it on spec and we did it on our own time and our own dime. We had a lot of adversity in getting this movie released. We tried to go out into the industry and sell it to a buyer or a distributor, and my favorite comments, these are all real comments we got for why people were saying stuff to us like, this is your best work, but we're not gonna distribute that. They said it was too urban, too violent, and too real. And so it required a lot of soul searching as to why a story that we felt was so compelling and some of our best work was having these kind of barriers to distribution. And then I realized the problem that we were having kind of marketing Dawg Fight to corporate America or to networks or distributors was that DADA was the promoter, he was the owner, he was the commissioner, he was the referee. This was entirely urban America, completely unfiltered. You didn't have a commissioner in a suit and tie reassuring the country that don't worry, there'll be a dress code, there'll be a code of conduct, we're gonna hold these guys to a standard. That's urban culture filtered through white corporate America. Dawg Fight and the backyard fights and DADA 5000 is completely unadulterated, completely raw, and completely real. And it was surprising to me to discover that there are people who have a problem with that. The audience didn't have a problem with that, but everybody else did. Win or lose, I think the fact that DADA is getting into that cage with Kimbo Slice is a remarkable, remarkable thing. And it's a testament to what he's been able to accomplish as an entrepreneur. There is no question that Kimbo Slice is an experienced professional fighter compared to DADA, which you'd think would give DADA pause. DADA's not much in the pause business. I don't think DADA is scared very much. I don't think Dada has a lot to be scared of. You know, spoiler alert, Rocky loses at the end of Rocky. It's not about that. I mean, this is the classic example of it's not about winning or losing. It's about having the guts and the balls and creating an opportunity for yourself to get on that main stage. And that's what Dada has done that I think is so remarkable. I think that no matter what happens, Dada comes home with his head held high. Dada comes home, I think, a hero to young people who feel that they are underprivileged and feel that they are underserved. But I can use the gifts and the skills that God gave me to try and accomplish something, to try to make a better life for myself and my family. And I think that becomes Dada's legacy no matter what.